Hello everyone and welcome. So in this lesson we are going to be solving factorialize a number from the FreeCodeCamp curriculum. Now if you are here just for the final solution, I will include a timestamp in the description below. Be sure to check it out so that you can jump straight to the final solution. But if you want to understand a breakdown of how we are going to solve the problem and understand the problem, then let's get started. All right, so this challenge says factorialize a number. So you're supposed to return the factorial of the provided integer. So you'll be given an integer num and you're supposed to return the factorial of it. So for example, if an integer is represented with a number or the letter n, a factorial is a product of all positive integers less than or equal to n. Let's see an example here. We have 5 factorial, and 5 factorial is 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5, which is 120. So 4 factorial will be 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. Okay, so that's what is meant by factorial. Now, you are supposed to note that only integers greater than 0 or greater or equal to 0 will be supplied to the factorial, to the function. All right, so let's get started. So like I always do, the first thing I like to do before even writing code is to do a pseudocode. So I'm going to come here and write a pseudocode, which is going to be how we intend to approach the problem. So given a number, which is what we are going to be given, what we want to do is to create a variable. Let's call it final result to hold the final answer, okay, or the final result. Then what we are going to do is want to loop through all numbers from 1 to the given number. Okay, want to loop through all numbers from 1 to the given number. And then for each iteration of the loop, what we want to do is we want to multiply the number by the current value of the final result variable. Okay, and then when all is said and done, we want to return the value of the final result variable. Okay, so now we have our pseudocode set. We have an approach or an idea of how we want to approach the problem. Let's actually go and write code. Okay, so like in our pseudocode, we said we want to create a variable final result to hold the final answer. So let's create the variable. We'll say let final answer equal to, we'll initialize it to 1. Okay, the reason we initialize it to 1 is because we want to be multiplying it, and we can't initialize it to 0 because when we multiply a number by 0, we are going to get 0. So the safest thing we can do is to initialize it by 1, because when you multiply any number by 1, it's still the same number. All right, now next up, we want to loop through all numbers from 1 to the given number. So we are going to need a loop. Okay, so let's create our loop. We are using a for loop here, and we say let I, since we are looping from 1 to the given number, we'll say I is equal to 1. Okay, we'll start from 1 and we'll say I is less than or equal to the given number, which in this case is num. Then after every iteration, we want to increase I by 1, so I plus plus. Okay, now we are saying we want to, for every iteration, what do we want to do? We want to multiply the number by the current value of final result variable. So we say final results multiply I. Okay, so this is the same as writing final results is equal to final results times I. So that's the same thing, but we don't want to write it final result is equal to final result times 1. So we just do final result times equal to I. Okay. Now in our pseudocode we are saying return the value of final result. Okay, but before we return the value of final result, I want to show you something. Sorry, final answer. We named the variable final answer. So I want to show you some. Let's console log final answer and see what we are getting. The first time the loop ran, the final answer is 1. The next time is 2, which is 1 times 2. The next time it is 6, which is 2 times 3, 6. Now what is 6 times 4? 24. What is 24 times 5? 120. Okay, so that's why we get 120 here. Alright, now I'm going to remove the console log and then I'm going to return final answer. And that's it. If I should console log this, you'll see that we have 120. Okay, all right, so that's going to be it for this challenge, and this is going to be our final answer right here. Okay, so I'm going to run the test and let's see if we pass. Yeah, there you go, we passed the test. So again, this is our final answer. So if you were here just for the final answer, this is it, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.